the camera. Give it off, down.
Hi everybody. Welcome to another. I'm gonna call it Screen.com, but you got Comic Find here too. It's probably gonna go over Comic Find. Maybe it'll be untested too. Probably not.
Probably not untested, but
we'll link it.
We're happy to have you.
Forums.
Link.
We're doing a feature here today called Faithless. I'm gonna go and name it right now.
Faithless.
Okay. Faithless. It's about comic. This is celebrating the release.
Diane Lane movie.
Don't interrupt me. I'm kidding with you.
You're a sweetheart, Norm.
We're celebrating the release of Red, coming out this weekend, and Jonah Hex, two movies that have on Blu-ray and DVD. Two movies that have something in common. They're not really too faithful to the source material that they're working with.
I was gonna say let's start with Wills.
We can go and talk about Red a little bit. We can go and talk about Red a little bit. I'm going to go and talk about Red a little bit right here at the start of this feature because it's coming out this weekend based on a really highly acclaimed by me comic by Rorie and Alex.
Yes.
But as far as we can tell, the movie doesn't really have... the basic outline is there, but they add more characters. Totally different from what we can tell. It's a lot more humorous.
Jauntier.
What is the book about?
A little more whimsical.
It's got the same title.
It has the same title.
And the movie and the poster is kind of like the cover of the book.
So the book is about a retired CIA agent, the Bruce Willis character from the movie. But he lives by himself. He's totally alone. And one day he walks home and finds three dudes in his house trying to kill him. And he knows right away that the CIA has decided he's not supposed to be alive anymore. So he goes on a little rampage. He goes to the CIA, blows the whole place up. Spoilers, sorry. He goes there and kills basically everybody. And then
he's a monster.
He's a monster. That's the very last line of the movie. I'm a monster, but you created me. The movie seems like it's more kind of a romantic. There's a little romance there. There's
slapstick.
It's action comedy. Just say action comedy. It's an action comedy.
Helen Mirren with a machine.
Yeah, all those other characters, not in the comic.
Not in the comic.
Yeah. Well, no. What's her name from Weeds? Mary Louise Parker. She's in
there,
but
she's in a scene.
The handler. What does the title mean?
It means nothing in the
Retired,
comic.
Extremely dangerous, according to the movie trailer.
They made that up for the movie.
Yeah.
In the comic, it's like when the retired agent calls in, you are red, meaning you are
Code red,
activated.
Yeah. I will kill everybody that I see. Anyways, that's Red.
Yes.
And then there's also Jonah Hex coming out this weekend as well, which is based on a long-running DC comic series.
Yes.
But they decided to give him magic powers and a prostitute girlfriend.
They Wild Wested it.
And they're Dragon Ball cannonballs.
Yeah.
They're Dragon Balls in that movie. So not very close to the... Jonah Hex is more of a kind of a straight Western...
And also a terrible movie.
Terrible movie.
Well, to be fair,
it was short though. It was to be fair,
it was short, and also Jonah Hex does in the comic. He has had some mystical elements.
Has he really?
Yeah, just a little bit.
But not.
I think it depends on
bringing people back from the dead.
Well, he also lives for a long time. Yeah,
that's true. Well, that's like Batman has been 35 since the 1930s. So.
Well, no, but Jonah Hex, he's been in there's been a lot of interaction with present-day comics.
Speaking of Batman, let's get into our top 5 or 6 movies that we're going to be talking about today.
We've picked several.
We have several.
Picked too many.
There are plenty more to talk about, and we expect you to send us your lists and make us a video about the movies that you hate. I'm gonna do this a lot today.
Yeah, we get that.
So we're gonna start with Catwoman, I think.
Yes.
Oh.
I think this is probably the number one of all as far as like least faithful goes.
It's close enough. Obviously, you make a Catwoman standalone movie, you can't have Batman in it. But the thing here that I think everybody gets upset about, first off, it's a shitty movie. It's so bad.
Unwatchably bad.
Unwatchably bad. The basketball scene, there's a scene later on where she fights Sharon Stone, and Sharon Stone says, "It's game over," and she comes back with,
spoilers.
"It's overtime."
Game over. Guess what? It's overtime.
Oh my god. It's a piece of shit movie, but it's also not very faithful because Catwoman...
Not even the same character. Patience Phillips.
Patience Phillips.
Not even.
Well, how does Catwoman evolve in the comics? Basically, she's just a thief.
She's homeless. She's like, depending how you look at it, she's a prostitute. She's homeless. She gets taken in by this like ninja dude who starts training her, and she builds. So she has no superpowers.
She's like everybody else in the Batman.
She's an acrobat.
Yeah, she's
martial artist.
She wears tight clothing. She's got the whip on occasion,
and that's it.
And
she's a thief.
And here, when she dies, these mystical Egyptian cats bring her back to life.
Oh my god.
And then
the worst
she gets these cat powers.
Cat powers. I feel a bird.
Plays basketball.
This is kind of like they are trying to allude to Batman 2.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's kind of close to the.
And then the cats lick her back to life.
Yeah, but it's terrible.
You know what? But what I did notice. Okay, she's got this ripped outfit. There's a scene where she's walking. They kind of show her butt. and you can see that there's like a sheath underneath her outfit, like some nylon type material,
skin colored,
covering her butt, so it's not really her butt that you're seeing.
This is the kind of stuff that
Disappointment
Tony
upon
notices.
disappointment.
I just happen to
Not
notice
until
it.
Swordfish do we really get to see Halle Berry in
This
the
is
flesh.
after Swordfish. This is 2005. This
is
is
it after
3 years after
Wow.
she won an Oscar. And
Yeah.
there was critics who said she should give it back.
Yeah, I actually kind of agree with that.
To
sentiment.
Halle Berry's credit, she recognized that this is a terrible film, and she did actually accept her Razzie in person. So
It's just that the
I love when people
acting's
do that.
even bad.
Yeah, oh, it's terrible.
I mean,
Benjamin
besides
Bratt,
the
Sharon
movie.
Stone.
What has Sharon Stone as the bad woman? Like she's so.
Does she have
friggin'
cat powers
bad.
too?
Well, she was bad in.
She
Basic
has
Instinct.
mystical anti-aging cream. We're gonna stop talking about
yeah.
it. We're
She's
gonna
made
go
of
on-
plastic.
We're gonna go on to
rid of
the Schumacher Batman movies,
Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman.
which again are
Poor Batman.
these movies aren't only not faithful, but they're also terrible for the most part. There's a movie we're going to talk about later on that's pretty good, but it's also not very faithful. But the Schumacher Batman movies, this came out a couple years after Bane, Azrael from the comic books. It was a really
Right.
dark time for Batman. Like Batman's been a pretty dark comic from like 1986 on. Dark Knight. But then they made basically an adaptation of the Adam West TV show into a movie. Puns.
You could tell it get progressively worse. Like Batman 3, was the first Batman Forever.
Yes.
Tim Burton decided not to direct that, but you could tell the production style was a little similar.
Got a little brighter.
Schumacher
right?
was his almost protege. He
Right.
kind of hand chose him too.
And then Batman and Robin.
Let's kick some ice.
It was just down.
Let's put as many characters as we can in this movie.
And let's make them all as neon as humanly possible.
Neon,
yeah.
horrible punchlines.
Those
Batman
outfits.
sliding down a dinosaur, Flintstone style.
The Batman credit card.
7 million. Never leave the cave without it.
Also,
Alicia
two
Silverstone.
bad Batmans.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer, not a very good Batman. George Clooney, a terrible Batman. I love
bad.
George Clooney, but a bad Batman.
He acknowledged that he kind of killed the Batman franchise.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think.
But he came back from it, obviously.
Yes.
But
In retrospect, the Nolan Batmans are so much far and away above everything that
Redeeming.
came before.
Here's the George Clooney didn't need to be a bad Batman. He could have played a good Batman. It was.
It's
but
more
he just played
script
George
and-
Clooney.
Yeah.
That was more of a directorial.
Hi,
all those
I'm Batman.
script and everything like that was
The little
directorial.
freeze.
So these are terrible. I mean, there have been periods in the Batman comics that are really goofy and really over the top, and I can
But not
see
like
them,
this.
but not quite as bad as what's going
Well,
on
okay,
here. So.
bad movies, obviously. Faithfulness. Were there any parts that were at least faithful that you thought to the
There were
comics
parts that were maybe faithful to the old TV show, like the campiness of like the Adam West series, but like beyond that, no.
Tony
I'm
plot
not-
points?
I try to think as little as possible. They had a Batcave, they had a butler, they had a Batmobile.
But it's like, in Forever, like, Two-Face just is Two-Face. Like, Harvey Dent has become Tommy Lee Jones from Billy D. Williams.
Oh, that's the most disappointing thing too.
Yeah.
I love
And
Billy D.
they never get into his backstory really at all.
He's
There
got
is
some
there
flashbacks.
is
They
a
did.
scene where they show
Very-
him in the courtroom
With
getting
the manila
acid.
folder.
Yeah,
blocks it.
but they really don't touch on
Right.
it. But then, like, Edward Nygma, like his whole weird brain thing, turning him into the Riddler.
Google TV, right?
Yeah, and they sort of touch on the Mr. Freeze stuff, but no.
Here's the thing with Mr. Freeze. At least I thought that character they tried to pull from the Batman animated series storyline.
Yeah.
with the tragedy and his wife and
and
Frozen,
the outfit and everything like that.
right?
Yeah.
And they try to make him like.
But then
poetic.
they had Schwarzenegger hamming it up through all of
Yeah.
that, and it's sort of like, okay,
Chill
who cares?
out.
Yeah, exactly. Who cares?
Time to go for a freeze ride. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if he actually says that or not.
But he might as well.
Probably said chill out.
Next
Move
movie.
on. Let's move on.
Please.
Next movie. Tank Girl.
Yes.
Do people
Hey,
know?
remember Lori Petty?
Oh, I don't want to remember after I saw this movie again. So Tank Girl is based on a really kind of underground British comic book from the early 1990s, late 1880s.
Yes, the late
Sorry,
1880s.
1880s.
Really stylistically advanced for its time. It's kind of a really vibrant and has a lot of talking kangaroos and stuff like that. But it's really an interesting underground comic, all black and white. And then they decided to make a movie out of it. Let's make a movie and have Lori Petty be in it, and have the soundtrack by Courtney Love, and Malcolm McDowell is going to be the bad guy,
And Ice-T is in it as a talking
Ice-T's in
kangaroo.
it as a talking. They got the plot points are kind of similar to what they were doing in the comic book, but tonally it is such a weird 180 from what they're going to do. I think Lori Petty in this movie is the most annoying performance I've seen.
Well, Lori Petty is pretty annoying in most things.
Yes, but here it's over the top. Here it's Jake Lloyd and Phantom Menace kind of painful stuff. Even the director took control of it, and I want to make this movie kind of like a Riot Girl, an ode to that mid-90s kind of thing. And apparently the studio came in and changed everything around. They made her edit a bunch of stuff out, and they've got like 95% done. And apparently it went to the comic book creators. The guy who made Gorillas is one of the guys.
Jamie Hewlett.
Jamie Hewlett, I think, yeah. And after this, he decided I'd never work in Hollywood again because he had such a bad time. So they actually didn't shoot critical parts of the movie, and they had to go back and animate them. Hey, we forgot to shoot this part where they're doing
it's a
critical
stylistic
stuff.
choice.
They're gonna have some animation in there, so it works well enough. I mean, it's cool to see animation in a movie, but it's so bad.
Yeah,
And it's not very faithful either. They changed the talking kangaroos into like rippers. They're like the wasteland scavengers who run around and kill everybody. So.
Yeah, cool. Which makes perfect sense.
How do you market that to an American audience?
I don't know.
Put Lori Petty in. Everybody loves Lori Petty.
Yeah.
She's spunky.
No, that's the thing is, no, everyone didn't love Lori Petty at that point. Like, people were barely tolerating her at that point, and then they put her in a starring role, and that was pretty much the end. That was the end of Lori Petty.
It actually made the British comics company that published Tank Girl go out of business, I think, because the movie did so poorly. They invested pretty heavily into it.
So not only is it not faithful, it actually ruined a comic business.
Sure.
So
Nice.
there you go.
Well
Lori
done,
Petty's
Tank
why
Girl.
I didn't see it. I was like,
Way to go, Lori Petty.
I don't need to see this.
Next
on.
up, one that more people have seen and more people know, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, God.
Man. This is, I think,
amazing
So this is
comic.
the only Alan Moore entry that we have, right?
right. There have been
Yeah.
many Alan Moore entries.
But the other movies based on it, V for Vendetta, I hear is
I thought
is
it was,
not
I
bad.
thought it was pretty good.
Watchmen's
It's pretty
good.
good.
except for the
Watchmen
ending.
is at least faithful.
Almost
Even if you don't
shot for
love the movie, it is fairly faithful up to the end.
Yeah.
So here are things like you can say about most Alan Moore adaptations. They're either faithful or at least as movies, watchable.
Yeah.
This one, both not faithful and pretty much unwatchable.
Totally unwatchable.
Which is it's disappointing because the comic book is so good. What you don't realize if you've only seen the movie is that the comic book has really elegant writing. The dialogue is really except when like Dr. Jekyll's talking.
And a great premise. And you can see like that premise was what sold the studios on making the movie.
And the
totally.
movie has the premise kind of down. It's Moriarty's in the background trying to make an airship so he can take over the world. And kind of the first 6 issues of the comic book are the same basic plot. But Mina Harker in the comic book is the one who actually rounds up the group.
Right.
And she's kind of pushed to the side a little bit in the movie. And they also added in Tom Sawyer to the movie as well.
Because they're afraid that American audiences wouldn't get
If there's
who
no American.
Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah.
This super team of literature heroes. Where's Tom Sawyer? Which
America don't know no damn
Captain
literature.
Nero, what the F?
secret agent Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, Secret Agent.
Tom
Isn't he like
Sawyer.
Secret Service or something?
Yeah.
That was the idea?
It was like the predecessor.
If they
Oh
needed
my God.
a fence painted.
The offense painter?
If they needed a fence painted, gotta have
Yeah,
Tom Sawyer.
you know.
Well, apparently he can paint fences and be a sniper. Like that was pretty much all
After
his
he
whole
gets trained
thing.
up, yeah.
Yeah.
It just like Quartermain was now in Africa instead of like in the opium den where they found him in the comic book. The comic book actually has the Invisible Man that's like basically a rapist.
Yeah.
That they
Yeah.
do some pretty weird stuff.
Well, the interesting thing, so when I first read the comic and also when I first saw the movie, like I saw them basically around the same time.
Sure.
I didn't really know who Alan Quartermain was.
Yeah.
I will be perfectly frank when
The
I say
original
that.
Indiana Jones.
I know that, and I know that now after doing some reading on it. But I sort of understand why maybe the studio would be a little reticent to have this character that is very popular in European
British
literature,
yep.
not so much in American literature whatsoever.
Being the lead.
yeah, being
Apparently
the lead
the
of the
original
whole thing.
script was almost all set in America too. Like they really wanted to be, we need to make our money back, so we better put
Yeah.
in a car chase, guys.
That is
Back in
also
the-
Cars did not exist those days.
Legitimately one of the
Big tank.
worst looking films I have seen in the last several years, especially of like it's so gray.
Very
It is
stagey.
the grayest grayest soundstagey movie I have ever seen.
I will say the only redeeming factor, I think, the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde character, I thought was at least a
Yeah,
pretty good representation.
reasonably well done.
And the interesting representation of Captain Nemo with his crazy
I
martial
call him
arts.
Captain Nero. I think I was
Yeah.
thinking of Star
But, you know,
Trek.
I haven't seen the movie.
Dude,
You should- it's totally worth watching to
That's why-
It's pretty well thing to watch it just to
I
pick
was
apart.
scared.
Yeah.
I was scared to watch it. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I will.
Well, next up. Well, this is a movie that's actually pretty good, but it's not very faithful. It's Wanted.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed.
So different.
by this.
See, I
So-
like Wanted as a movie. I think it's fun, but at the same time, yeah, I know it has
The
zero to do
Looms
with the
of
book.
Faith. Okay, I'm going to tell people.
I just
The
opened it up
Looms
to a
of Faith
big,
is stupid.
A big
I'm
piece
not-
of shit.
There's a
shitty
character
toilets.
called, was it Shithead?
Shithead. Something like
Yeah.
that.
He's
So-
a big pile of poo.
I'm going to assume most people have seen the movie. More people have seen the movie than read the comic.
Sure.
The comic it was supposed to be a big parody on superhero culture and superheroes in popular culture. So, and that superheroes in Wanted, that
Give
not
us
at all
a
in the
rundown though.
movie.
But
Okay.
it's basically superheroes versus supervillains, right?
In the comic, the lead character, who looks like Eminem, is the son of the world's greatest supervillain, the Killer. And in the comic book, these supervillains have taken over the world and erased the world's memory of superheroes.
Sure.
And it's our world. So like, Adam West was really Batman, but now they changed history to make him a bad TV actor and a joke, right? Christopher Reeve was Superman, but they've changed history so he's crippled in a wheelchair.
Right.
Right.
It's horrible. How can you say that?
It's in the comic, right? And so they allude to all these superhero references, and that is a very, very interesting story to tell.
Yeah.
Without directly even referencing, Spider-Man, Superman, or Batman.
Sure.
It's just, visual homages. All
And
of
then
that
they took it all
taken
away.
out, and now it's just Angelina Jolie.
Totally different direction.
But
Assassins.
they also turned it where the killers were kind of good in the movie.
Right, because in the
here,
comic,
they're like-
they're assholes. They're bad guys.
The
Bad guys are bad
main guy,
guys.
he's in his training. He's like, I just raped an A-list celebrity, and it didn't even make the news. And,
Yeah.
and I kill these people, and I'm gonna kill my guy in high school that beat me up and throw him in a dumpster. And
Millar gets dark.
yeah. So I mean,
It's
this is like
very
totally
dark
over
comic.
the top.
It's almost like a Fight Club, story. The theme of Fight Club, but with supervillains and very, very perverse and dark themes.
Now, I thought I heard that when they were making the movie, they're like, no one wants to see superheroes. That's not real. So let's take all the superhero stuff out. And then when they were like knee deep in production, and then people were like, superhero movie, that's cool. And then they're like, oh crap, we took it all out. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's why I think they took such a departure.
Well, they're all talking about making a sequel to the movie, so we'll see if they bring that back. Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't know. But anyways, the movie's not terrible.
It's
I don't know if
an
you appreciate
enjoyably
it.
stupid action romp, and even if it is completely.
Yeah, the
Faithless.
bullet curving thing doesn't make any sense anymore
No.
without the superhero stuff. Anyways, last movie we're going to talk about. We have some other, we have
Well,
some minor
we'll have
ones.
some casual mentions here.
Controversial choice.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Sure.
This is
Why?
it's kind of one of those things that you can make an argument about. It's obviously the movie is based more on the cartoon series than the actual.
Absolutely.
comic
And I
books.
don't think anyone can say the movie was bad. The movie was
No, it's fine.
No, the
whatever.
first live-action
First
Turtles
movie.
movie is still eminently watchable,
even
which
if it
is
was all
shocking.
about shelling.
Which is the one with Vanilla Ice.
two.
Two was realized.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Yeah.
That was when it became like even the first movie was all about.
That's the
selling
one that also
toys.
has the kid from Surf Ninjas in it. Like they give him they give them the sidekick character who's like the
Pizza
karate
Delivery
dude.
guy.
Yeah.
Was he typecast after that?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's always the
But-
ninja
but
sidekick?
all these movies are about selling toys, basically.
Yeah.
Brought over toys and pizza and Burger King and whatever. But in terms of a tonal shift from a comic book inspiration to a movie, because the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Black
was
and white, just
black and white,
awesome, just
kind of violence.
a little dark, a little gritty, and just
It was
Yeah, I heard it
about
was
a heavy metal guy.
It was kind of a parody of the Ronin style of the early 80s, kind of those dark and gritty stuff. So the parody became not what it was parodying, but like a whole different thing. It's basically a way to sell
so
toys.
far away.
Well, it's more to the point. I mean, the cartoon series definitely made the whole thing super kid friendly.
Sure.
But the thing about the movie that I will say, it is not terribly faithful to the original comic, but it is darker than
yeah,
the cartoon
cartoon.
series
Yeah.
ever was. Like, there's some actually legitimately if you're a kid and you're watching that stuff with like Raph getting super beat up and
Yeah.
they're hanging out in that weird house in the woods and they're
Meditating
all,
and
they're
the
totally
spirit of
beaten up
Splinter
and yeah, it's that stuff is like mind blowing when you're like 10.
Fun fact,
I'm getting chills.
the
Yeah.
doctor from Lost was Shredder.
That's right.
What?
Yeah.
Dr. Hanzo.
Francois Chow. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Whoa, mind
Whoa, what does it mean?
And you know who played Super Shredder in 2? Kevin Nash.
Oh, Elias Koteas, still
Yeah.
one of my favorite Elias Koteas roles.
Oh, as Casey Jones?
Casey Jones. Anyways, those are our top 6, 5. I don't
Five,
know.
whatever. Those are some of the most significant picks we have, but there's plenty of others
Plenty
to
of
talk
options. We were talking about other ones to do in here. I think we mentioned Whiteout, which is one of my favorite comics by Greg Rucka. They take this little 5'2" girl, kind of stocky U.S. Marshal, and then they make her into Kate Beckinsale, who's taking a shower in her huge apartment
In a freezing cold-
Antarctica.
Yeah. Dude, whatever. There's a lot of real estate in Antarctica. They can make these huge
Yeah,
apartments.
whatever. We got a huge
They're
one
like,
bedroom.
we hired this nice looking actress, and she's gonna be wrapped
Take
up
her
in a
clothes off.
jacket.
Yeah.
So let's
Kate
put your
Beckinsale's
scenes.
Antarctica.
And it's like an
Discovery
opening
Channel
credits,
show.
right?
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
really-
get
it's
it,
right
get
out
out of the
there.
way. So,
Terrible
yeah,
movie.
go in
It's literally the first thing you see. It's like she's walking through a door, she goes into her apartment. Here we go.
You know,
Do you feel like studios, when it's a more indie comic or lesser known comic, they feel like they can take more liberties?
I think so. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's because they don't expect like that level of fanboy fervor.
But
that
they
was,
still
it was like,
but
will
even so-
capitalize on the fanboy. Like
yeah, no, they'll use the name,
losers. Yeah,
but
they'll
they
say,
also feel like they just don't have to care as much of like, let's say with like the
That-
Marvel or the DC properties.
if you don't care, don't market it as a
But
comic
that
movie.
said, X-Men Origins, Wolverine is a perfect example of like, you know, that's a big major property with a lot of major fanboys, and oh my god, did they just like just
What happened to
cudgel
Deadpool
that one into the
in that
ground.
movie? Deadpool is totally
They
unrecognizable
totally
in that.
destroyed that character, and
Well,
I can't believe they're going to bring it back.
They're gonna make another movie, and it'll just be like
They'll just
Deadpool
pretend like
from-
Origins never happened.
Hey,
Please
right.
God.
You know, going with comics, you know, how many people read comics? You know, or how many sales? You know, 100,000.
Compared to the people who watch the
and you got
movies.
millions
Sure,
of people.
sure,
So it's like
100%.
they can say, "Oh, we'll take Deadpool. He's popular. We'll do whatever we want." Because
such a weird relationship.
those people will complain about it, but we got all these other millions of people who are going to buy movie tickets. And,
Well, speaking
that's
of
all we
movie
care
tickets, though, hopefully Red is good. We're going to be seeing it this weekend.
Yeah.
And figuring out if it's okay or not. I think it probably will be an entertaining movie, but it's
I have
obviously not
faith.
going to be close to what it is in the
Yeah,
comics.
and Warren
No.
Ellis said
They paid
that's
me.
fine. They
Warren
got
Ellis
money.
talking about
Hey.
Comic-Con. He's like, they paid me my money. I don't
Warren
give a shit.
Ellis
Do what you
don't
want.
care. Dude just wants to get paid.
That's
Take
his-
away.
it'll be
Read the books.
Yeah, read the book
if you see
first.
the
If you have
movies,
a chance to
read
read
the
Red,
books.
Red is really good.
Read Red.
Read Red.
Read more books, period. Seriously,
Read more
read
comics.
there's a lot of great graphic novels out there. Read them.
So we're gonna wind this up. Thank you, Tony, Norm.
We're gonna wind it
Alex.
down.
We're gonna wind it down. We're gonna wind it up. We're gonna wind it all around.
We're done.
I want to make sure Joey can edit this without killing himself for the next week. So
Thanks, Joey.
we're gonna say goodbye now. Please send us your list or make a video of yourself and upload it to YouTube talking about your least favorite, least faithful comic book adaptation. And
This
we'll
is going to be
back.
an animated
We'll
GIF
do part
on the
2.
site.
It will be
Part 2.
part 2, maybe part 2 coming up soon. You
We'll
never
see.
know.